Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to explain you a perfect sales speech for your call center business. If you're in a client meetings, if you're managers or maybe as a single owner company, if you want to talk to your client and if it's an international client, what could be the main objections that you will receive from them? What are the common tips that you will actually require for your sales call to get some business, to get campaigns, to get projects for your call center business? I'm going to explain in this video. Let's start now. The first common question that you are always going to face in your mind is, can you get clients for your startup company? If you're a single owner company, maybe just run by a couple of partners, if you have recently started a year or 2 years back, and if you want to get international clients for your business, can you get clients for your startup company? Of course, yes. Any startup companies can get clients, and for that matter, in fact, any multinational companies which have started 20 years back, 15 years back, now we see their turnover really high, or maybe they have huge number of employees in their organizations, but at one time they were even startup companies. So yes, definitely you can get clients for your startup business, provided you focus on the right market segment. You have decided which industries you are focusing on, your geographical area is properly decided, you are focusing on only 1 or 2 industries, not more than that, and you are starting or you're focusing on the potential prospects, the companies or your potential clients, which companies are not more than 7 to 8 years old. So relatively, they are also new company. One of the biggest mistake that what I have seen from startup contact centers when I talk to them is they're focusing on really big companies, multinational companies. When I ask them who is your wish list customer or who is going to be the next customers, do you have any customers in mind? Many times they don't even know the company names, who will be their potential clients, but in case if they know it, those are typically multinational companies, big banks, like JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, or any big company names. They say it. That's the biggest mistake, because any multinational company, any big organization, they have a completely different vendor empanelment department set up for their organization. The vendor empanelment department makes it sure that all the vendors are qualified, they have required certifications, they have the number of team strength, infrastructure, IT infrastructure, everything in place. They have some referral clients, they have existing clientele on board. So they're going to ask you several questions, and then startup companies are not going to fit into that criteria. So I strongly suggest not to waste your time in focusing on multinational companies or any big companies. Focus on the market around the companies which are 7 years older at the max, not more than that, in the US and Canada. Those could be a potential startup companies, potential market. So that's the market that you should go for, and only 1 or 2 industries, not more than that. Industries which are in high demand. Don't choose industries like travel or any industries which are affected after pandemic. So especially choose industries which have the high demand for outsourcing. So that's the first tip for startup companies. You can definitely get clients. The second question or second tip that you may require is, what services do you provide? That's a typical question you're going to get it on a sales call. Sales calls usually they go for from 5 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on how the conversation is taken, how the salesperson from your team or as a business owner, if you're handling it, how you actually engage your potential prospects. So it all depends on that. But this is a common question you're going to get it is, what services do you provide? So you need to be very clear in one-liner statement that what services do you give, what problem do you solve for the industry. So ideally the answer could be something like this, that we are an exclusive BPM services company, business process management company, which offers so and so solutions like a debt management or debt collection or customer support or inbound sales or data processing. So we are exclusively doing this for so and so industries. That should be your one-liner statement. We are a BPM company giving exclusive customer support services to the finance industry, or we are a BPM company giving exclusive debt collection services to XYZ industry. So you should have that one-liner ready. That's the very first thing that you should keep it in mind. But more than that, that statement sometimes may get confused. Your clients may not be interested in that because they may have certain different problems, different state of problems. The client company may, you may be offering them customer support, but they may be requiring inbound sales. They want to increase the number of sales in their company. That might be the problem. So my point here is always that, okay, this is what we offer. These are our services, but we also design customized solutions according to your needs. That should be the answer on your sales call. So I will always suggest that the moment they question you something, you should give the answer ending with a cross question. That you should always say that, okay, these are the services we offer, but may I know what is your current problems? What are the current challenges of your business? What problems are you facing? Is it a you're not having enough sales, you're not able to get many customers for your company, or you're facing payroll challenges. Maybe you have a cost issue and you are looking for cost effective solutions from outsourcing. What are your current challenges? You should be always asking that on your sales call, so you will get right direction. What is their pain point? What are the problems they are facing? If the company wants 24/7 solutions, maybe their customers are looking for support, contact center support on Saturdays and Sundays, and your client is not able to provide that. It could be anything. So their pain point is supposed to be your solution. If your solution does not match their pain point, the client will never come on board. No matter how excellent services you provide, and no matter how industry leader you are and what kind of quality services you provide, it absolutely doesn't matter to them. As long as you are able to solve their problems, you are actually able to help them in their pain points. If your solutions helps them, the client will definitely consider that. That's all they need. Any clients basically that they need. So this is about what services do you provide. Give the answer in one statement, then immediately ask your question, what are the problems, and accordingly design the solutions and then offer them. The third point or the third tip is, what is your current infrastructure and sitting capacity? This could be the next question that you may have. As a startup company, you cannot, some companies, they say, we have a sitting capacity of 20 people, we have 100 people. But when I ask them, now it's great that you have 100 people you can actually accommodate, but do you have any clients? Are you making revenue? And they say no. Then what is the use of having an infrastructure of 100 employees? You imagine the infrastructure, furniture, overhead expenses, all recurring expenses like your electricity bills and so many things. And on top of that, for 100 employees, you will always need various overhead other expenses to run the entire office. So this is going to be a significant cost on you. So my suggestion is always that if you are a startup company, start an office very small, maybe 10, 15, 20 seats. It doesn't matter. You're not supposed to have really big office in first place. If client asks you what is your infrastructure and sitting capacity, but obviously you tell them at front that we're a startup company, we have so and so existing infrastructure where 15 or 20 people can sit, but we are quite ready if the bigger process comes up. Then we have a partner, channel partners, strategic partners, where you can actually arrange a bigger space, and it all depends on client's requirements. So you can always say that we are completely ready. If your office as a client, if you need particular IT infrastructure support, if you need a particular systems, if you need a particular sitting infrastructure, anything, then accordingly we are completely ready depending on whichever the city that you are looking for. So that should be the answer. So that's about the infrastructure and sitting capacity. The next question is, what are the main selling points? So as a company, as a service provider, as a BPO company or contact center, what should be your main selling points, and how it should be different than your competitors? So here my answer is that the selling points could be anything. For example, you offer a cost-effective services, or you make the systems automated, business process systems automated, or seasonal scalability. So there could be various selling points that your company can have. But the biggest question here is, again, that it's important to think about what are the buying reasons than selling points. So if your selling points does not help the client, you're offering something like the cost effectiveness, but the client is not looking for cost effectiveness. They have enough capital to spend, but their problem is something different. The seasonal scalability is their problem. Maybe during the festive seasons like November and December, they're not able to meet the seasonal demand. If that's their problem, but the cost is not a problem, then your unique selling point is not going to help them. So you need to understand what are their buying reasons. So you immediately need to understand, so what exactly problem is, again, what is the pain point, what solution are you looking for? We offer several services, we have several selling points, including the cost effectiveness to operational scalability or making the operations automated. But what exactly are you looking for? So accordingly I can guide you in the right direction. So you need to understand their pain points and then accordingly offer or explain your selling points. So buying reasons are more important than your selling points. The fifth one is, who are your current clients? So this could be a common question in your sales meeting. As a startup company, if you're just beginning and you don't have any clientele, then how you're going to answer this question? So my suggestion here is that if you have a management team, if you have a consultant team, they're on board with you. And if they come from a really long experience, maybe they have 18 years of experience, 19 years of experience, and when they have worked with several clients in the past, this could be used as a credibility for your company, but obviously your startup company is not going to have any client. So explain your potential prospect clearly that our company does not have any clients, but our management team has a very vast experience serving to various clients in the past. Let me give you some examples. And then you can say our consultants or our management team has actually helped some of the travel companies in the past, healthcare companies in the past, finance companies in the past, and then give it as a case study. Explain them that this is a company that our management team has helped in the past, and then these are the problems which have been solved. So you can explain it. Another way to tackle this question is always give case studies from the industry leaders. So if you're talking to for example, if you're talking to any finance company in the US, as I said, that the first rebuttal is that give your management and consultant teams experience. Tell them very at front that your company does not have any clients, but your management team has. And then you can also give them some of the case studies from the industry, that XYZ industry leaders like MasterCard, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, they have their captive centers or they have outsourced it to XYZ companies in India, and those Indian companies were also the beginners or they were also startup at some stage, but now they have grown up, so with a mutual partnership. So this is an example which you could give when you're on sales call with your potential prospects. So this is how you could answer this question. The next question is, how much pricing you offer for your services? Now when you are at the end of this conversation, this is a question which you're going to get it. Okay, what are your prices? What are your commercials? Let me understand it. Here my suggestion is, never give the prices and commercials on your first sales call. If you give the first prices and commercials on a first sales call, there are high chances that the conversation will not lead further and you will lose a deal. So you should always say that yes, pricings we can give you, certainly after this call, give us a day or two and we will send you commercials in detail. But let me first understand what your demand is or what you're exactly looking for. What are your questions and what you're looking for? So let me understand in the email that, okay, these are your common challenges. These are the solutions what you're looking for, maybe a customer support, debt collection, any solutions what you're looking for to solve your pain points or your problems. And what is the volume of it? How many employees you're looking for? Are there 10, 15, 20, 50? So how many employees are you looking for? And what is the scope of the project or the duration of the project? Is it for 6 months, a year, or is it going to be a recurring business? So based on that, our pricing will vary. I cannot give you a simple flat pricing here. And then if you have the requirement for 25 seats for a 2 years time, but obviously the pricing will differ because of the duration of the project. So tell them that let us understand the scope of the project first, and accordingly we can give you the pricing. It always helps, so you will not have any opportunity loss. That means if any potential prospect is ready to pay you $15 per hour, by mistake you will tell them $10 or $11 over the phone, and that becomes an opportunity loss. So that should not happen. So you will not have any opportunity loss, and you will also not lose a deal. That means you telling them some overpriced, and they will feel not to continue the discussion with you. So that should not happen. So never give the pricing on the first sales call until you understand the requirement of your potential prospect. And the last, 7th point is, what is the client onboarding process? So once you give the pricing, once the negotiations are done, there are a couple of sales meetings have happened, some of the follow-up calls are done between your company and their company. Then what is the client onboarding process? It should be pretty simple. You should have the sales agreement, or you should have the client agreement ready. Get it ready by your lawyer or any lawyer firm, and then put all the clauses which are required there. So make sure that you have that client agreement ready, to sign it. The second thing is that immediately tell them, okay, these are the 1, 2, 3 steps, whatever that your management team has decided. Maybe they should pay you 20% advance, and then you should start, immediately allocate the resources. Talent acquisition will start, and then in 2 to 3 weeks, immediately the process will be transferred. The process transitioning will happen. So explain them clearly. If you confuse your client, they are not going to come on board. If you make it too complicated, if you make it very complex to get them on board, they're not going to come on board. So make sure international payments are ready, maybe through PayPal, maybe through wire transfers. Everything needs to be pretty handy and easy. You should have one person who can answer all the queries to your potential prospect, and then help them with a draft agreement, make the amendments as per what they suggest you, and then you mutually agree. Sign the contract electronically and get it started. Let them transfer 20%, 15% depending on the contract what you have, and then start talent acquisition and start delivering the services. So the smoother the client acquisition process is, or client onboarding process is, it's going to be easy for clients to make the decisions to come on board. So this is my suggestion. These are 7 important tips for your sales meetings when you want to get any call center campaigns, projects on board for your company, and if you're a startup company. If you have any more questions, visit my website. It's www.offshoringconsultant.com. You can also attend my executive program online, where you will get a lot of information there. And if you have any more questions, directly WhatsApp me on +91 9511 841 495. Thank you.